Yo, welcome to the video, y'all. We got to talk about something. We really got to talk about something today. And you know what that something is, man. Is Marvel the new Anthem?
I'm so amazing. I'm so amazing.
I'm amazing. Just how I'm blazing.
All right, everybody. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Oh my God, are you kidding? I tried not to come to this point, but there was nothing I could do about it. They brought this on themselves, and we know who we're talking about. Crystal Dynamics and their lackluster attempt at the live service with Marvel Avengers. Let's be real. This game is a disaster, and the faster people keep dropping away from this game and not playing it because nothing is coming out to actually keep people playing it, and all the bug fixes they got to do with this game, I'm just gonna say it, man. They competing with Anthem, bruh. This is the same thing Anthem did when it dropped. Same exact thing. You get a story, you go through said story, you level up said character, you get to said multiplayer online end game, so to speak, and then there's nothing to do. But I didn't just, this is the first time I ever did this. Yeah, I took down notes, and I'm gonna tell you how these games are so similar. Both games had very good stories. Both of them have very fun gameplay, and that's the thing that kills both these games that I don't understand. Both are live service games. Both are supposed to be loot heavy, and both of them handle loot so terribly. Anthem's loot was a little bit more interesting than Marvel Avengers loot, so to speak, but in the long run, the loot is crazy. Now, the one thing I do know is that Marvel does not do, that Anthem tried to do, is they tried to make it to where when you reached a certain level, you only got certain type of loot. And that's how most of these games are supposed to work. Where Marvel's loot is just all RNG. Doesn't matter what level you hit or how long you've been playing the game, what character you're using. The loot is random. You end up with green, blue, purple. Exotics is locked behind missions only. Like, this is just ridiculous the way that loot works. But the lack of content to keep players engaged, that was the biggest one for me, because I played both games. I enjoyed both games, and it's just insane how there is nothing to do. Y'all had, I bring this up all the time because it's like one of the things I hold developers accountable. What are you doing in the time that you're giving these fun and the time frame that you've set to drop these games? What are you doing that you cannot complete these games in the time frame that you're given? If you need more time, take the CD Projekt Red approach that they took with Cyberpunk 2077 and delay it. I mean, at least now that game is, even if it has some issues at launch, it won't be near as bad as these games were. I mean, you remember Division learned a lesson. Division 1 was a disaster, kind of like this too. But Division 2 came out a much more solid and complete game. Right now, in my opinion, when it comes to the live service looter, shooter, or looter, however you want to label these games, Division's winning it. But let's talk about the things that Anthem has that Marvel could have took from Anthem and made it a little bit better of a game. So Avengers matchmaking for co-op is broken. You can't even find a game online. I haven't played online with anybody outside of my brother and my homeboy since the beta. So that's a bad thing. Just that alone is just like terrible, because like I played Anthem and I got on, I actually re-downloaded it because I had took it off my PlayStation. I re-downloaded it so I could have something for this video. And while I was playing the free roam section, I actually had people popping in and popping out of my game while I was playing pretty easily. It was amazing and pretty surprising that there were people still playing that game, and enough to where there was always somebody in my game with me. I wasn't completely by myself. But then I go play Marvel, and for the most part, it feels like a one-player game unless I link up with my boys to play. I'm playing by myself. I mean, they even dropped the Hive, the Mega Hive, as a single. You're making a multiplayer game and you drop a single-player mission for people to play the online mode on. That is like the dumbest thing ever. So if I want to grind, I want to get on and grind for exotics, I can't grind with other people. I gotta grind by myself. That was a very dumbass move. But hey, let's keep it moving. The recycled content. I didn't even waste time making a video on the Tachyon Rift update, because let's be real. They took the approach of reusing Black Widow's iconic mission and throwing in a time trial, so to speak. You didn't even make a brand new mission type for the Tachyon Rift. You just reused game mode that was already there and threw in a time trial. Like, very, very, very poor use of content. Mission types are pretty much all the same. That's for both games. Mission types are pretty much all the same. Customizations are very lackluster because it's just skin. I mean, you're just reskinning, and a lot of them are just recolors of the same skin. It's not really any customization to it. When you're putting on gear, you don't even see the gear you're putting on. The social spaces, what's the reason for them? If the game is primarily, most of the time, just a 4-player co-op anyway, what's the need for a social space? I mean, that social space is about as pointless as Anthem social space. Well, Anthem social space is just you. When you're playing the missions and you're still in the party, you still end up playing that area by yourself. Like, you're in it by yourself. So that the social spaces are pointless. I get no, multiplayer experience from those social spaces. That is just like terrible that they do that. The customizations in Anthem, though, a lot better, because you got a lot more control over how you want to customize your character versus the way that you customize your character in Avengers, which is pretty much not a customization. If I was to play with random people, I guarantee you, if they didn't have that set to where when you're using one, the other person can't use the character that you're using, you would see a lot of the same costumes on everybody. Where in Anthem, you don't know what anybody's javelin is going to look like until they actually enter your game, because they can customize them however they see fit, colors and all. So that's a one-up for Anthem that I like. But I mean, stronghold attempts. The strongholds got boring real fast in Anthem. Just like the hives in Marvel. Only thing is, though, the strongholds are different stages. They're not the same stage like Marvel. It don't matter what mission you play, for the most part, every place you go looks the same, just about. When you're outside, they look different, but then the only one that looks appealing is when you're in the city. But once you go inside, every single corridor and hallway is the same cookie cutter corridor hallway in every area you go to. So it's like, where's the difference? I mean, the live events is, you can't even tell that you're in a live event. I mean, you see the little indicator on the menu screen on Avengers when you first get on. But other than that, you don't really feel like you're working towards anything. The live events in Anthem, same thing. That whole Cataclysm was a failure. What they said the Cataclysm was going to look like when they were showing it off at E3 versus what the Cataclysm actually looked like, No, sorry, didn't work out. The instance based on new content. That instance based thing, I don't really care for in Avengers. Don't really care for it. Let's see. I want to stay on track here. The roadmaps. So first off, Anthem put out a roadmap at the beginning, and they never stuck to their roadmap because they had so many issues with the development of the game. Because they didn't actually develop the game when they said they developed the game. They developed the game in about I think they said like 9 months before they released it. Avengers, on the other hand, was developing this game for a long time and came out with no roadmap. I mean, they did that whole war table. And I don't know if anybody remember, but when they did the war table, they said this was going to be a weekly thing. We got one war table. And then no more war tables came. So then it was just like, oh, so they're doing them in blog posts now? I thought they were supposed to do a weekly war table video to show us what was coming, keep us excited for the game. There are more YouTube content creators. Shout out to Super Rebel. I do watch you, Super Rebel, and I do give you kudos for trying to keep this game alive. But he has done more to keep us excited for this game than Crystal Dynamics themselves. The silence that they did for so long. I mean, you had a guy on Twitter that was data mining the game and finding information out to keep us informed on what could possibly be coming to the game, when that's supposed to be Crystal Dynamics' job. Like, you don't have a community leader set up to actually keep the people informed. Like, what were y'all thinking with that? Like, that was stupid. Anthem tried the weekly stream to show off new content, things like that, before it actually came to the game. Problem that they had was they had a lot of issues with the game, that the streams didn't go over well, to the point that they stopped doing the streams. They got a lot of hate for it. But the biggest point we got to talk about is Avengers delaying the Kate Bishop DLC. Why? You delaying that DLC, saying that we want to make sure that we test it and that it comes out in a good fashion. Well, here's the problem that I got with that. There's nothing to do in this game. And the one thing that would have got people playing it at least a little bit longer, you delayed it. And you delayed it till sometime in November, but you didn't put a date on it, so we don't know when it's coming. And then it's for a character that no one really got excited for. There are some people that say, oh yeah, I can't wait for the Kate Bishop, but in reality, no one was really that excited for Kate Bishop. And in the way it's moving now, you need to actually release Kate and Clint at the same time. The Hawkeye DLC need to be both of them. Just put both the stories you've been working on together in one big storyline, since both of them are supposed to be tied together anyway, and release them both at the same time. That's one way to get people playing it, because there'll be plenty. There should be plenty to do for at least a little bit longer until you can move on to the next DLC. They might want to look at taking some kudos and some notes from how Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 did, where they released 4 characters at a time and a storyline to go along with it to introduce you to those 4 characters being in the game, being put in the game, as well as adding more, missions to grind in and things of that nature. They might want to take a look at that game going forward, as far as releasing content for this game, as well as costume choice. I mean, if you're not going to go with the personally customized choice, then you got to go with better costumes. And Marvel Ultimate Alliance does a pretty good job with the costumes. And I'm talking about going back to even when when the first 2 came out, when the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 came out, the costume choices were pretty good in those too. So you got to do something though, man. You got to. I was playing MUA 3 a week ago, and I was like, bro, this game is so fun. It is really a fun game. I mean, yes, true enough, it's on the system that it's not getting as much praise and play as it should, but it's still a fun game when I play it. I have right now, I had more fun with it playing it a week ago than I had playing Marvel Avengers right now. So kudos to them for that. But Marvel, y'all got some work to do, man. Y'all killed y'all's game, bruh. I mean, that game is pretty much dead unless they find a way to resurrect it. Now, we look at back when the game was getting ready to be released and everybody was all mad about the about Spider-Man being on PlayStation only. Well, with the way that this game is moving and the way that this game is, you know, pushing forward as a live service, we might not even make it to the Spider-Man DLC. Like, this game is pretty much dead, bruh. Y'all gonna be doing a Marvel Avengers 2.0 like Anthem is doing an Anthem 2.0, which we don't never know when that's coming. I mean, last I checked, there was like only 30 people developing that game right now. Where Marvel, y'all still got y'all full team. Y'all gotta get a move on. And the guy, the head development team comes out and says, you know, they got confidence that once they start dropping stuff for the game, the players will come back. Doesn't look that way. If you let this game fall all the way to nothing, releasing stuff when people are not even playing the game anymore, it's gonna be a big stretch to think that you're gonna get people to come back. But I mean, I tried not to make this video. Because I really wanted to be one of the ones that covered this game and kept up with the news of it, and then it died like right at the time that I felt like covering it, and it was just like, dude, you know what? So yeah, I'm rethinking that thought. Like I said, Super Rebel, if you can stick it out, bro. But I even seen you here recently we start talking about Miles Morales and other games like that. So good luck with this, Marvel, because right now you let a game that was a single player game come out when Ghost of Tsushima come out with a multiplayer mode that is smacking the crap out of your entire game. That little mode by itself, let's not even talk about Ghost of Tsushima as a game, which is my game of the year, by the way. But that Legends mode, smacking the crap out of this Avengers game. Y'all got to come with something better than this, bruh. This ain't looking good for y'all. It's not looking good for y'all at all. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on it, man. Marvel has become Anthem. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, let me know what you feel about it. If you feel the same way, you know, if this was a thought process that was working around in your mind. Do you want to see the game get better, or would you rather see the game die? I mean, just let me know, man. And as always, keep it cool. I'm out.
I am so amazing, look how I'm blazing. These niggas talk shit, don't let it faze me. Just keep making the hits and let the game speak. Cause you niggas trying to catch you to my style in the same speed. But I'm too far to reach, so I dangle lifelines that one you can keep. Cause this nigga gon' shine just for you to see. Better take the time now to shake hands with me. But they really won't. Just wishing I go away is what they really want. Cause I've been taking over stages since they put me on. Niggas smile hard in my face but hate me when I'm gone. But I'm okay with that, cause as long as I breathe, the Lord got my back. So I just keep dishing the meals and keeping all the scraps, cause I'll be ready for the marathon while you getting fat.